It's Halloween, and today I'm going as Spider-Man. GameMasters here, and I wanted to do a one-shot for the group, but I wanted something scary, but something simple that I didn't have to put a whole lot of prep work in for. And I was flipping through an old issue of Dragon magazine from October of 1987, and I came across the perfect monster, the Sheet Phantom. It can also be found in the original Fiend Folio book over on page 78. In the Fiend Folio, it cites that these things are a form of undead, but that it does not in any way resemble a human, but instead looks almost like a large rectangle or tapestry, sheet-like. To attack, it will lurk above on ceilings and will drop down on top of its intended prey. Now, did you catch that? That it will lurk above? Yeah, there's also a monster known as the Lurker above that will do the exact same thing. It will hang out on the ceiling and wait for prey to wander by below before dropping down to suffocate and devour. And some theorize that the Sheet Phantom is an undead lurker above, but that theory is not widely accepted. It is said that a victim enveloped by a Sheet Phantom is paralyzed, and any damage inflicted upon the Phantom is also transferred to the victim. There is a bit more to this Sheet Phantom, but the wheels are already turning in my head, and at this point I know exactly what I'm going to do to pit up against my players. We've all seen the classic ghost made from one of Mom's old sheets with only eye holes cut out of it. Even Charlie Brown and Michael Myers got into the costume at one point, and that is going to be the version of my Sheet Phantom. Well, not the multi-eyed one that Charlie Brown wore. Yeah, it's going to take on a slight humanoid form, but boy oh boy is it going to be scary. And I'll leave its stats down in the pinned comment if you want to use it and make it your own. It will be a dark and stormy night. The players will be seeking refuge from that storm and will come across a mansion in the middle of a deep forest, and thus a quick stage has been set for a chilling adventure that they won't soon forget. As the players cautiously enter the mansion, they'll find themselves in a dimly lit foyer with tattered wallpaper peeling from the walls and dusty cobwebs hanging from the ceiling. The atmosphere is laden with unsettling sense of foreboding, and every creaking floorboard beneath their feet sends shivers down their spines. The thunder outside rumbles ominously, providing a dramatic backdrop to this classic haunted house setting. As they explore, they will discover that the mansion's interior is vast and very maze-like, with long hallways and hidden rooms that hold secrets and horrors of their own. The air is heavy with the scent of decay, and eerie sounds echo through the corridors, making it increasingly clear that they are not alone. To make things even easier for me, I'm going to use a Woodlands Mansion layout from Minecraft. As the players progress deeper into the mansion, they'll come across bizarre and unsettling sights. A room filled with porcelain dolls whose vacant eyes seem to follow their every move. A library filled with ancient tomes and mysterious manuscripts. And even a dining room where an untouched feast sits rotting on the table. These eerie encounters serve to heighten the tension. The climax of their adventure will involve a heart-pounding confrontation with the Sheet Phantom in a shadowy, candlelit room. With its spectral form and its uncanny ability to absorb damage, these players are going to have to rely on their wits, teamwork, and perhaps some Halloween-inspired tricks to vanquish this terrifying foe and escape the mansion's clutches. This Halloween-themed one-shot promises to be a memorable and spine-tingling experience that will leave the players on the edge of their seats. Before we jump into the Sheet Phantom stat block that you can use for 5th edition, I need to thank these Sheet supporters. Their treats to this channel are very generous, and I cannot thank them enough. If you'd like to show support to this growing channel, I'll leave links down in the description as to how you can become a YouTube or Patreon member, and of course, your name will be added to this list. The Sheet Phantom is an evil, unaligned undead with an armor class of 14 and 8d8 plus 24 hit points. Has a strength of 8, dexterity of 16, its constitution is 16, its intelligence is 8, its wisdom is 12, and its charisma is 10. It has damage immunity to necrotic and poison damage, and cannot be charmed, frightened, paralyzed, or poisoned, and has a challenge rating of 3. It has incorporeal movement, allowing it to pass through creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain. It also has sheet form. In essence, this thing looks like a large sheet, and attacks made against it have disadvantage. It can make 2 attacks, one with paralyzing touch and one with its phantom absorption. Paralyzing touch. When the Sheet Phantom makes a melee attack against a creature, that creature must make a DC 14 Constitution save, else it will be paralyzed for 1 minute. Phantom absorption. Any damage dealt to the Phantom is also dealt to the creature it has engulfed. 4 actions. It can sheet engulf, in which it will attempt to wrap itself around a creature that is within 5 feet of it. The target must make a DC 14 dexterity save throw, and on a failed save, the target is grappled and is considered restrained. Engulfed creatures take 2d6 plus 3 necrotic damage at the start of their turns, and it can only engulf one creature at a time, although there may be larger sheet phantoms capable of engulfing perhaps an entire party. The Sheet Phantom also has Phantom Wail, in which it will release a haunting wail. Creatures that hear it and are within 30 feet of it must make a DC 14 Wisdom save, else they are frightened for 1 minute. Again, keep in mind this is a quick homebrewed and custom version of the Sheet Phantom for my own one-shot, but should you want to use it, I'll leave its stats down on the pinned comment. Feel free to make it your own. The Sheet Phantom is a fun take on a classic costume that also makes use, at least a name, of an old classic monster from the Dungeons & Dragons days of yore. It'll work best if the characters are all level 1, but then again, you can bump up the level of the Sheet Phantom if you want. And 2, you can always customize its stats and abilities to fit the power level of your specific table's party, and create an unforgettable encounter in the deep woods under a flashing and thunderous storm. Have a grand Halloween, everyone, and until next our paths cross, may you not get a rock.